Hey folks, it is Craig, the Natural Medic. Welcome to the channel. It's been a minute since I've been here. I want to explain my absence real quick. I have moved to a new city, and more about that later. This is the first inaugural breakfast with the Natural Medic. So I'm having some coffee and a bagel. Let's talk about mental health today and when you're on the trail. Approximately a month ago, I got a new job, and so I had to move. So I now live in the small town of Greenville, Texas, which is a bigger town than my old town, but I'm right on the edge of the Dallas-Fort Worth, also known as DFW Metroplex. So some new adventures will be here. However, I was on Eagle Rock Loop about the end of September and into planning on being there on the 1st and leaving on the 1st. But long story short, I got ill on the trail and my brain was just not there. I was supposed to have a partner go with me to hike, and she wasn't able to go due to other obligations, which is totally fine, totally understandable. We're all busy. We all have things we have to do. Some things take priority. But the main thing to think about is, how do you draw the line when you are trying to take care of your mental health on the trail? When do you know when to stop? When to stop? And for me, I got there in a pretty good time because I stayed the night at a hotel near the trailhead in Arkansas. And got there to the trail on a pretty early start. I was on the trail by, I think, about 10:30. It was a Thursday morning, September the 29th. And everything was going good. And then what happened was I started feeling this feeling of nausea. And I just didn't really feel myself. Whenever I ate food, no matter what the food was, it made me feel more nauseous. So I'm not really sure what the deal was exactly. But I also tried a hammock for the first time, sleeping overnight, and the hammock was, number one, it's too short. I didn't bring enough cover because it got down to the low 40s, upper 30s, and it was cold all night. So needless to say, the next morning I got up with not really good spirits. I did not have a very good sleep, and I got to Little Missouri Falls. So I got about half of the trail done approximately, and I met a couple who actually has ties to my hometown of Jefferson, Texas. And I hitchhiked with them back in my vehicle back in the southwest corner of Eagle Rock Loop, because I knew if I went past where I was at Little Missouri Falls, there would not be any people that could take me anywhere in case I got ill or more ill. I just didn't feel like I had the energy, and I couldn't really eat food. And so I just decided I would opt out. I'll probably go more in depth to this in a later video. But for right now, I just want to give you that overview. And maybe that's why I've been a little absent over the last week, in addition to moving to a new town. So I'm in Greenville, Texas, as I said, which is just outside of Dallas, Fort Worth area on the east side. Still technically in East Texas, but I'm right on the borderline of East Texas and North Texas. So definitely a different environment here. I'm looking forward to that. And there'll be more to come about that. So I'm probably starting a new channel. I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm going to start a channel about thrifty living because I had to. It costs a lot of money to move. And so if you're interested in that, I'll be posting that in the description as soon as I have that information. But for today, I want to just give you an overview of what's been going on. But definitely, if you're hiking along, whether you're doing a day hike, an overnight hike, or a multi-day hike, and you start feeling off, don't put yourself in a bad way, in a bad situation when you get to that point of no return where you could hurt yourself. If I had continued on the trail from Little Missouri Falls in Arkansas on the Eagle Rock Loop, I probably could have hurt myself pretty severely. Last time I was up there, it's a pretty tough trail. Last time I was up there, I sprained my ankle really good, about a grade 2, which is the middle grade, where the ligaments stretch almost to the max without tearing. And I'm still recovering from that. And that was December of last year. But the main message is I want you to be careful out there. Know your limitations before you go out there, and know what is it how can I know when too much is too much, or when I've had enough of my fill. Now, I blame myself partially because I wasn't very prepared as far as the weather goes for sleeping. I was prepared clothing wise, but I wasn't prepared. I had a lighter camp blanket with me for my top part of my hammock. Plus the hammock, I'd never slept in it before, so it was too small. All that kind of being equal. That kind of sucked. It sucked. And now I'll have more decor in here. I'm just moving into my new duplex, been here for a week and 2 days. So not very long. Still trying to unpack and get everything settled here. But I do have some exciting news as far as guests. I do have a friend of mine. Her name is Jill. She is from the Dallas area. She's a physical therapist, and she is also a hiker and backpacker. She's going to come on the show as a guest, and I want to interview her. She's going to give us some information about how to prevent injuries and so forth on the trail. And also, if you have injuries, how to help nurse those back to health, so to speak. I also have another lady who hiked the Arizona Trail. Her name is Tracy. She'll probably be coming on in December. And she's going to talk to us about mental health more in depth, because when you do a big old trail like the Arizona Trail, which is almost 900 miles long, through a bunch of different challenging terrain of Arizona, your mental game's got to be right on. I have two other guests coming on, hopefully before the end of the year. One of them, she hiked about half of the Appalachian Trail this year and had to come off due to some injuries. And she's top notch, a trooper. And I'll be having her on. Her trail name is Georgia. So some of y'all listening and watching may know her. But anyway, and if you're liking my content, make sure you comment, give it a good thumbs up, and consider subscribing to it. And then my last guest I'm going to have, hopefully before the end of the year as well, is a new friend that is a fellow YouTuber that lives close to me now. He lives over in Collin County area, which is just to my kind of northwest of where I live here in Greenville. And he has a survival school and he has a YouTube channel, and I will share that at a later time. And he's going to come on and talk about some things to think about as far as survival and preparedness for being on the trail when things maybe don't go exactly like you want. So lots of things coming here on the channel, on the podcast. I appreciate everybody that watches. Help me to grow this channel by sharing this with your friends, sharing my other videos that are on the channel. Like those, comment on those. I appreciate that. If you click on affiliate links of any products I've ever recommended in the past, that doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps me grow the channel because it does take time to edit and produce these videos. I'm the one-man show as far as that goes, and podcasts as well. But I definitely appreciate you being here and watching today. I'm going to sign off for now, and more to come soon. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe and do all those other things, and I'll see you out there.